What's up gamers, ZFarls here with a lesson on user defense in Madden 16. The most important thing is that you stop playing with the defensive lineman. Yes, user rushing has a time and a place, but overall the best players are consistently going to user control a defender in the back 7. Here we choose a 3-down line like Dollar or Big Dime 146. This gives us a free defender who's rushing on the play. We can put him in a different assignment. We can put him in a QB spy. We can do whatever we want. Generally, you'll want to graduate to user controlling who's ever covering the halfback. Here in a man-to-man assignment, we're looking at the routes a halfback could possibly run and beat us with. By holding down LB after the snap, or L1, that's defensive assist. That's actually going to track us to our man-to-man assignment. So without even having to hold the left stick, we can basically hold LB at the snap, and you'll see our defender will follow the halfback out of the backfield. Now, if the halfback's going to run routes to the left, which there isn't that many he can run, you can take that free defender we talked about and put him in a flat zone. That will make him go to the left side of the screen, and then anything to the left, he picks up, and we're free to do whatever we want. You do kind of have to worry about a deep throw here, but you'll see half the time it's open, other half you'll have a safety in play. Just keep an eye on a speed mismatch. That's why I recommend user controlling a defender who has low play recognition and low awareness, but great speed, above 85 or so, good acceleration, because you turn them into a monster. Here, we're looking at the tight end corner route. This is probably the most common route in the game. By standing right in front of it and holding RB, you'll see we can press the tight end and get him off of his route. Here, we're guarding him too closely, and so the offense, a good player knows not to throw that. A bad player will still throw that. So what we want to do is go and hide out in the flat and then lurk underneath it. If you guard a route too tightly, the quarterback will never throw it. Yes, bad ones will, but whereas if you stand here, you can cover the flat throw, you can run up and make a tackle for only a short gain, but then you can also drop back and cover those desperate corner routes. The next lesson is to user control a defender from where you're blitzing. So right here, we're blitzing off the left edge, which means we've only got one flat zone over there. That's where we're weak on this play. So by user controlling over on this side of the screen, you'll see we can make up a lot of ground. We can go to the middle. If Larry Fitzgerald runs a slant, we can jump in on that. Here, there's two receivers over on that side. We're going to drop back and play the deep route and hopefully get an interception. There aren't that many concepts that two receivers can run to get free over there, so one of them we have to look is the deep route, and we always play deep to short. We always try and get back as much as possible before coming up and playing something shorter. Here we see a slant on this next play from the inside receiver, and we know that we have to cover the slant for just a second, but he's no longer our responsibility once he cuts there. That allows us to drop back and cover the X route. Advanced user play right there is we don't lose our momentum. We keep the left stick rolling, and see how we didn't have to stop and cut. We kind of kept our momentum going. That allowed us to get in and make the play. Here's our middle linebacker. That's now his responsibility. Defense is one of the only things where it's okay to say that's not my job. You can't follow that receiver all the way across the field. Now, it's tough to user a screen pass from that position, so if you smell something funny like 3rd and 20 or a new formation, you've got to make an adjustment. Right there, we adjusted to controlling the middle linebacker, and we tried to shoot through and make the tackle. Now, if you miss, the initial thing you want to do is right at the snap, look and see if the linemen are running away. If they are, you know it's a screen. Get wide, get wide, get wide. Force everything back into the middle. You're going to give up a little gain, but you're not going to give up a huge gain. If you can't shoot right through, that's it. I wanted to show you this formation because it's a tough alignment for many defenses, and it's a common formation that you see online. So the tight end's going to get a free release, so he's going to beat man-to-man right there. However, we want to user control and take that throwaway really quick, but then we don't want to follow that route all the way across the field. Here we're going to put Manny Lawson in a flat route. That slant's going to run into the flat, so we don't need to follow it past the initial. So we're following, and then we just drop across the middle. And right here, we'll do it one more time. We're going to take 3 steps with the A route so that the quarterback won't throw it. And now the quarterback's going to move on to his reads and think he has the crosser, and we're going to cut back over. Now, obviously, in a game, things will change. You've got to keep in mind your opponent's tendencies and the down and distance, but generally, see how we took 3 steps with it, and then we cut back. Tried to get to where the spot of the ball would be, and that's how you're going to make most of your plays. You need to be like a detective in a movie who doesn't follow his victims too closely. Right there, This is the very, very popular 4 verticals route. Look how we're able to undercut this throw. Look at the range. We're 5 yards away from this ball, but by playing with a big, tall defender, watch us drop back. Hold down the L trigger to strafe, get in position, and then hold down the Y button right now and get up big and make the play. Now we've got to watch 2 routes on this play, so we just watched the deep one, but now notice we kind of cover it for a second. Hopefully he gets a bad idea about throwing it, and then we break down. Remember, you always want to play back to front. It's like a fly ball in baseball. It's much easier to run forward than it is to run backwards. So right there, that is how you would break on a pass like that. That's a very popular concept, the 4 verticals one I wanted to show you. The other thing is identifying passing concepts right at the snap. At the snap, we saw both flat defenders, both slot receivers run flat routes, and that made us know, okay, it's either curl flats or corner strike. We go through the playbooks, we generally know what formations they are. This is the halfback angle. This is the most obvious pass in the world. Gun spread, very common for a halfback to run an angle route. We don't want to run out at the right. We just want to set up to where he's going to be. Like Wayne Gretzky said, go where the puck is going to be, not where it is. Right here, auto motion, you'll start to get very aggressive with your defenses. You can learn to time auto motion. We'll talk more about user run defense later, but that's some good general guidelines for playing better user defense, guys. It's really going to improve your game. I know it's a headache, but by user controlling a middle linebacker in a hook zone with cover 3 or in man-to-man, the guy covering the halfback, you really can't hurt yourself and you'll really improve your defense quickly. It just takes a little bit of practice, a little bit of time, a little bit of learning formations, keeping in mind the situation, and you'll be making big plays in no time. All right, guys, this is Z Farrells. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more, and we'll talk to you soon.